What happens when you combine freshly made hot honey and delicious mustard? You make a delicious hot honey mustard sauce. Obviously, Carolina Gold, taking it to the next level. Let's go. Everybody, welcome to Chronicles of Chef. I'm Scott Hamilton, and today we're going to make a killer, hot honey mustard barbecue sauce. Oh, this thing is out of the world. And I know I said barbecue sauce. It's a sauce. You can put it on anything and everything. Bathe in it if you want to, because this is liquid gold. Carolina Gold is a big inspiration on this one. We're going to make our own hot honey using fresh chilies, dried chilies. Oh, it is going to be phenomenal. Let's get cooking. All right, let's get making this delicious hot honey for this hot honey mustard sauce. First things first, oil. We got about 1/3 of a cup there. And we're looking just to heat this oil up, really get it really hot, because we're going to pour it over our other ingredients and then add the honey to that to warm the honey to start infusing everything. So in our jar, we're getting our Fresno peppers, and it's okay that they're going to be a little chunky because we're going to blend it. So we got Fresno peppers, we got shallots and garlic going in here. And then we have all of our dried chilies. And again, it's okay that they're big and chunky. So that's all of our delicious stuff that's going to make this hot. This is going to be, oh, smelling good. I love that we're going to have a blend of dry and fresh chilies. My goal is to make this a little flaky so that you can see little specks of these reds throughout the hot honey mustard sauce, so you can see it and see that it's nice and hot. So our oil is getting nice and hot here. We're not looking for anything kind of crazy. We're going to drop one of these guys in and see it fries. All right, we got instant like kind of bubble frying, which is perfect. So we're going to set this off to the side, and we're going to just pour our hot oil right over the top. Beautiful sizzling and everything. Turn that off. And then we're going to let this kind of sit off to the side. While that's doing its thing, we'll measure out. We're going to do 1/3 of a cup of honey as well. There we go. Well, there's a little more, but it's all right. Whoop. We're going to add our honey straight to this hot oil. I didn't want to necessarily cook the peppers or the shallots or garlic. I really just wanted that hot oil to soften them up ever so slightly. There we go. And this is just a way so that they can start kind of becoming friends, hanging out, seeing what everybody's up to. Oh, yeah. I want something that's going to be a little bit more in that Carolina Gold. I want it rich and creamy. I want a cooked sauce. I didn't want a mayo base or anything like that. So I want more of an emulsification. That's why I went so heavy with the oil. The oil is going to help with this emulsification process. Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. The other day, I did this. All right, so we've got our mustard bloomin' situation. I'm going to try it right now just to see, and then we're going to let it sit in the fridge for a couple days, and then make our sauce. Whoa. Acrid is such the right word for this. There's a little bit of heat on the back end, so I feel like that we're going to be good on getting it nice and hot, spice-wise. Then hopefully over the next couple of days, it'll start to tame when it comes to the acrid and bitter notes. Hopefully those will soften up. And then, of course, we're going to add other things to it to help sweeten it up, balance out all those flavors too. 2 tablespoons, equal ratios, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. We shall see how it goes. Oh, man. I really wanted the... Oh, woohoo! That is some mustard that's going to punch you in the face. It's no longer acrid. It's still a little bitter, but that's okay. We're going to have some nasal flare, rocket kind of heat, along with all these chilies. Both of them are going to be coming at you, and then the sweetness of the honey is going to balance everything out so beautifully. This is going to be so cool. I was really nervous about doing the blooming and everything, and it turned out so good. It sat for about 3 days, and it was perfect. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and take our mustard, and this was 2 tablespoons ground mustard and then 2 tablespoons of water, so equal parts. We're going to drop it into our pan here, and this is going to be a very, very slow warm situation. Okay, I got a tablespoon of Worcestershire. There's that. We're going to kind of let those become friends. And then we're going to do about a quarter cup of apple cider vinegar just to start. We'll see how that kind of goes. We're also going to add some old style grain mustard. Again, I want that flakiness, but we're going to add that more closer to the end. We're going to add a tablespoon of King's Peak seasoning from High Desert Kitchen. A big inspiration for this was Carolina mop sauces. So a lot of those similar flavors are going to be in there. And so that will just kind of help amplify and balance everything out. Oh man, it is punchy in the face. Whoa, love it. Okay, I'm going to turn this back on, but I'm going to have it on a very low heat. These guys have kind of hung out. The oil's still a little warm, which is great. We're going to go ahead and add our honey and oil and peppers, everything into here. Now, we don't want this to boil. Just going to kind of... Woohoo! That is a roller coaster. Mustard's very much on the kind of the back end. Honey forward right now. Oh, you're starting to get a little that rich chilies, fresh chili heat, little zing. Oh yeah, we're on to something here, team. This is gonna be so good. All right. So we just kind of want to slowly bring this up to a nice little simmer before we hit it with the hand blender and get an emulsification going. So we're starting to get some good bubbles here. So we're gonna go ahead and hit it with some salt, because we're going to need to be able to counterbalance the all of the oil that we put in there, and then also the vinegar. The salt will help kind of balance that out. Whoa. Let's go ahead and give this a little buzz. It is absolutely flaky, delicious looking. I am so excited. So we're gonna give this a little stir. And as you can see, like the volume wise and thickness wise, like it is looking good. Now I want a little. Let's get this little. Whoa. Oh yeah. The honey, the chilies. There's a little bit of that flair of the mustard. Mustard isn't like super strong in the flavor. Well, that's where this is going to come in. We're going to do 2 tablespoons of an old style grain mustard. There we go. Going to give those a good mix. The back notes of the King's Peak is beautiful. We're going to hit with some salt here. Oh, this is coming together absolutely beautifully. Look at that. I'm liking this like vinaigrette-esque emulsification vibe that we're getting from it. Just a little more. Help those mustard seeds from the old style mustard in here. Kind of break them up. They're going to act as like a little bit of a binding agent. When you're doing emulsifications and like vinaigrettes and things like that, part of the reason why you add mustard is because it is a stabilizer. So grinding up those mustard seeds is going to help stabilize our emulsification. And that's going to help it hold its thick richness and not separate. So we'll have to do less of the shaking it up. But oh, look at that. Oh, there it is. It's bright. It's really, that has a good heat to it. It's not over the top. Now, if I wanted to make this like hot honey, I would have gone a whole lot more chilies, thrown in some other other chilies in there, maybe a little habanero, and really kind of gotten after it. But I just wanted chili heat, which we have chili heat, we have mustard heat. So your mouth is getting coated with some heat. You're getting some little bit of a flare through the nostril. It's nice and bright and acidic, but there's also a richness to it. So it's going to go great with pork, with steak, anything. This is going to be so good on sandwiches. Dip fries into this. Eggs. Oh man, this is a win of a sauce, if I say so myself. And I do. I'm going to go ahead and just drop the rest of this King's Peak in there just because I want a little bit more of those background notes of the flavors of King's Peak. That's going to add a little bit of a smokiness to it from the chipotles and the paprika that's in there. I want smokiness because I want that depth of flavor, not because I'm looking to recreate a barbecue-esque. This is supposed to match barbecue, not trick you into barbecue. You know, that's a big misconception. I'm not a big fan of liquid smoke, adding those to sauces and things like that. I'd rather just add things that are naturally smoky and give you a depth of flavor rather than just feel like you're getting smoke, you know? We'll let this kind of simmer for about 5 or so minutes altogether. Or now that it's all mixed in, ooh, hot and oh, so good. There's a little bit of bitterness on the back end, and that's going to be partially because of us heating up the mustard. Well, I feel like that slight bitterness on the back end is going to get lost in whenever you add this to anything else. There's going to be a hint of bitter, which makes you want to go back for more. So bitter is needed, and you want bitter in a full palette. But to kind of tone it down a little bit and kind of push it a little bit further into the back, I'm going to add a tablespoon of brown sugar. I didn't want to intensify the honey flavor. We already have really, really good honey flavor. I really just wanted this to, but I did want to add some sweetness because the sweetness is a great way to counteract the bitter. We're putting the big one just to be on the safe side. But before we do that, I'd like to pour some through this cap, make sure that we can actually have it come all the way through. This. There we go. Okay. Well, things are getting stuck. So, not using this one, but we have other options. Let's see here. Let's spoon some into here. This little everything was getting through that. So this is the bottle we're going to use. All right. Oh, man. This is so good. All right, I'm going to turn this guy off. I'm going to hope that I don't have too much for the bottle. I think we're going to be all right. Oh, we're going to be perfect, huh? Let's go, team. This sauce is out of the world. Okay. Ooh, but it's hot. I'm going to put this in the fridge, cap off, let it cool down. This is going to get better as it kind of goes on. The chili bits and everything are going to really start to soften up as everything kind of cooks down and soaks up all the liquid and they become all better friends. But I'm going to use it later today. But this will be really, really good to let it sit overnight, let everything really combine, and then you're rocking and rolling. We'll get this chilling, and then we'll get to tasting. All right, let's give this delicious sauce a try. First of all, it's a little on like the thicker, gloopier side now that it's like cooled off. But that's just because of the way that the honey is. But it's going to stay really, really nice and thick and coating, and I love that. So, first of all, everything all cooled off by itself now. Oh, man. That is so good. It is so simple. There is a right amount of vinegar. So there's brightness to it, but it's not like overpowering. You get these notes of mustard that you're going to carry through. And then there's this depth of flavor with the honey. And that just is this like little sweetness that gets on there. And it's really good. And then it kind of finishes off with these chilies and some fresh feeling, a little, and then you get like the rich and depth of flavor from those dried. Oh, this is killer. So, first things first, I said fries, potato, tots, let's go. I could dip into this all day. Little chicken. I mean, look at that. The way it coats the chicken and everything is beautiful. Wow. That was crazy. One, I could still taste the chicken, but I just got all of this like King's Peak flavoring. So I got a little celery salt, got some ginger, got all these different herbs kind of going in. Oh man, that was insane. That was a big jump from just trying it by itself. Oh yeah. And of course, we got some Carolina carnitas here. Oh yeah. Oh man. Pork, chicken, steak. This would be killer on a... Oh man. This would be so good on a steak sandwich, on regular sandwiches, clubs, whatever. Like, this is so good. And I love that there's heat. And the heat's going to build. As I took more and more bites of it, the heat definitely started to build, but it's not overpowering. There's so much flavor behind all of that heat. And because we did the really spicy mustard along with those chilies, you get this like flare up into the nostrils at first, kind of like eating a wasabi or and like that typical mustard or horseradish kind of flare into the nostrils, kind of opens everything up. And then as you're done, there's just this like lingering warmth from the chilies. It's not too spicy or anything like that. I mean, we could make it spicier for sure, but I love this is a great base. Oh man, delicious. Thank you so much for watching. This was delicious, and I can't wait to find all the different ways to play with this sauce. It turned out so much better than I hoped. The texture of it is great, and I'm so excited for it. If you like seeing these kind of videos where I'm kind of mix and matching techniques and to build flavors and try some new things, make sure you like, subscribe, and do all those fun things so that you can get notifications. I post weekly, so be on the lookout for those. And eat more deliciously. We'll see you next week.